It's time for some backstory, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to our final patrons, Strawbones, Weather4765, Midnight Gemlord, Sean, and Artgoon. And a very big thank you to our $25 patron, Alex Ice Rose. Now, we have this breakdown / discussion and live reaction to chapter 206 of Blue Loco. Please don't forget to leave your own on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification bell to miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below. You support yourself as one download, playing exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, now become a member of the channel for yourself as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, let's hop into the review. What's up, guys? I'm Pencil, and here we are to do a live reaction and review to chapter 206 of Blue Loco, which is known as Expectations. And I got high expectations because this is peak luck. Where's my sword? Where's my... I guess I don't always have it on me at all times. Where's my blade? Where's my blade? Hold on a second. Where is my blade? I genuinely don't know. Has my blade disappeared on me? Has my blade done a genuine top tier, next level, Super Saiyan 5 disappearing act? It's a whole sword. How did I misplace a whole sword? I'm sorry. I've been lying to you. I guess I just don't always have it on me like that. You know, I thought it was really him, but I can't seem to locate my judge of worthiness. Without the sword, am I even worthy? Am I really that guy with the pencil if I'm not also that guy with the sword at the same time? Where is my blade? What in the world? Blade, how could you disappear on me like this? After all we've been through. After all you've done for me and all I've done for you. Blade, come back, please. Where are you? Where have you gone? Sweet Mother of Mercy. The blade just isn't here. It's beyond my scope and jurisdiction now. Blade, no! Well, I suppose my blade just doesn't exist. And I guess the blade moved on to higher pastures. Psych, you know I got it on me like that, but I tricked y'all, know what I'm saying? Editing me. Ready, 3, 2, 1, go. Y'all thought I was joking? I thought I didn't have it on me. Come on now. You know I got it on me. I keep it on me at all times. Know what I'm saying? They call me that guy with the pencil, but they also call me that guy with the blade. You know, I got a switch on it. I got a switch on. Nah, well, let's hop right into the chapter itself. All right. Let's test my illiteracy or literacy, whichever comes first. The prodigy Hyorio's childhood. The reason why he decided to enter Blue Lock. The reason he plays football. Everything is about to be revealed. Once again, I will give a whole ton of credit to the Blue Lock mangaka. I really like Hiyori, and I'm happy that we're getting his backstory, and I really like a bunch of other characters, and I really want to get their backstories too. So, like, the character writing in Blue Lock, chef's kiss, and it's only 206 chapters long. I know it sounds like really only 200 chapters, but still, for how many characters Blue Lock has introduced, developed, given backstories on, and made me care about, for 200 chapters only, that is very impressive. And Hiyori was only introduced, what? 3rd selection? So, like, right before U20? So, like, less than 100 chapters ago, Hiyori was introduced, and already I'm super invested for this backstory. But I gotta say, you know, Hiyori, one of us. It's like a reverse Rock Lock situation from My Hero Academia. Like, you are not the father. Who did it, dog? Because Hiyori looks, I mean, to be fair, like, I'd say I'm pretty much a carbon copy of my mom. It's just I'm male. So maybe the same thing happened with Hiyori, where it's just like, yeah, the dad was there, but he really was just the key to the lock, if you know what I'm saying. And that's why Hiyori just looks exactly like his mom. Like, I see none of him in him, which is crazy to think about. Let's see. My dad was a silver medalist all time in judo championships. My mom was ranked 2nd in Japan in the high jump. In Japan? Okay, I get it. I get they're disappointed. Or, well, I guess 2 second placers. Isn't that ironic? I guess I wonder if they were each other's second choices too. But regardless, that is crazy. Like, in all of Japan, you're the 2nd ranked in judo championships and high jump? That's bonkers. Like, that is actually a little bit bonkers. That is a super child. I can get how. Now that makes me wonder, what were, like, you move. Now, but what were the Itoshi parents? Like, Ryo came from a billionaire family, and he just happened to be good at everything. I can believe that. But, like, what were the Itoshi parents? How did they produce not one, but two football prodigies, or two just physical beasts in general? Like, I don't know. I kind of want their backstory. What were they doing? Because this one makes sense. Hiyori's so good because, like, bro was born to probably literally top 10 athletes in the entire nation, which is crazy to think about. Having tasted the bitter feeling of always finishing second, my parents made it their mission to make their child a champion. If that was my destiny, the minute I was born, probably. Wow. Okay. So the big thing that happened in the last chapter, everyone was wondering, like, whoa, Hiyori, what you mean by football's tiring, dog? Like, what you mean by that? But it seems like, unlike a lot of other people in Blue Lock, ironically enough, Rin, who for the longest time was the best player in Blue Lock, and I still probably is, especially after his amps, but the best player in Blue Lock was only playing soccer because his brother did it. Not so much because he did it, but at least that was still Rin's choice. But it seems like, if I had to guess, the main reason Hiyori just finds soccer tiring and boring is because he doesn't really care about it. As he said, he likes video games. So I highly doubt that he wants what they want. But let's see. Let's see if it's true. I was born. Oh, well, we jumped a couple years. That's a time skip in of itself. Let's see. Once again, he looks just like his mom. Even the hair part, like, he has the darker blue on the sides and then the light on top, just like his mom. Like, where are you? Are you sure you're the father? Maybe she actually got with a guy who was number one. Because what the heck, dude? Like, not an ounce. Like, I wouldn't have, if you had to tell me when Hiyori was introduced and, like, the first 20 chapters after you're introduced, if you were to tell me Hiyori, I keep messing up the name. If you were to tell me that Hiyori was a brother, I wouldn't believe you. It would not have been in the cards for me. At least I don't think so. But now that I know, respect. Let's see. Yo, Chan, this is today's protein intake. Oh, so his name is Yo. His last name's Hiyori. All right. Make sure you eat some carbs later. Okay, sweetie? Okay, we're done with training, so we're going to study tactics, all right? Need to understand soccer trends. Okay? For me being number one in football, one of the most popular sports in the world. Interesting how they didn't train. That's weird. I mean, I guess because they were number two in their respective things, they didn't want their own son passing him up there. But you would think instead of putting him towards soccer, they would have put him towards high jump or judo. Like, if you were going to do that, if you really wanted someone to be number one, why, like, leap fields? I guess because soccer's really popular, don't get me wrong. But I feel like you should have taken the knowledge that you gained in your own respective fields and made him good in that, rather than leaping to a field that I don't know the full backstory of the Hiyori family, but it seems like neither of you did soccer. So why would you put him into soccer when all you would have is, like, external coaches and the internet, I suppose, to determine how to get him good at soccer? I get it, though. I see what they decide to do. Like, she's making sure he gets, like, appropriate meals and stuff like that. Like, currently, I'm trying to lose weight. So, like, I'm specifically eating a low-carb protein diet, high-protein diet. So, I get it. It's nice to have someone who would cook that for somebody. So, that makes sense. And he's doing the physical training because I guess he can't cook. So, it's making sense. Like, it is clicking a little bit, like, their plan. But I think they shouldn't have, like, bobbed and weaved in a different direction away from what they usually did. They should have doubled down on what they did, because they can take all their experiences and put it into their kid rather than leaping. So I see why they leapt, because it's more popular, but at the same time, I think that was a mistake in of itself. Let's see. My parents put me through an intense elite training program. A self-made one, too, presumably. I'm not sure. I think we only see the parents. I heard we only see the parents in this chapter. I don't think we see any coaches or anything like that. Let's see. All right, that was a nice shot. It's only a month. Oh, wait, it's only been a month. But your accuracy has gotten so much better, yo. Yo-chan, if you grow up to here, you can become the world's #1 striker. Truth be told, I wanted to spend more time with my friends, but that's rough. That's rough. I was lucky enough to not have a childhood that way. Like, my parents who raised me were like, just survive, do well enough, don't fail. It was me who went on my way. It was like, I must do good. And my good was like high grades. I don't know. That was just an innate thing that I had in me. That's more like a me being like Isagi and I'd say Itoshi rather than Rin. Sei rather than Rin. They're both Itoshis. Whereas like, no, I just like it. And I want to be good. So I will be good. Hiyori is more like, it's all right. It's okay. Not really my interest though. And I think that's good. I actually think that's healthier. Like, focusing on building connections, spending time with the people you care about, spending time with your friends is really, really important. Don't let yourself get just consumed entirely by your work or well, maybe your passion. Like, I'd say you want to dive head on, full strength into your passion, but still, you should have balance. You shouldn't, like, how do I put this? You shouldn't just sacrifice everything. Like, everything shouldn't just immediately be like, I must do this and only this and completely disregard all human connection, because humans are social creatures. You need those bonds, and preferably healthy bonds, because I'm assuming this was not healthy. Like, having your parents focus you down one path that you don't even care about just for their own personal gain, yeah, it doesn't sound like the most healthy environment to be raised in. And it probably destroys any passion you would have had. Who knows? Maybe Hiyori would have naturally drifted towards soccer, but because he was just, it was his preset path, it just made him build up a resentment for it. I'm assuming he's going to build up a resentment towards his parents. Let's see. Amazing, yo. You're the best. You're going to be number one someday. Yo, imagine he became number one that day. He beat Noah that day. Nah, but that's crazy. Let's see. My parents always seemed happy to see me play soccer, so I continued to play football. Oh. See, that's rough. That's rough. You can see how dominant he was, it goes to show that his parents' genes were in him. He was built to be an athlete, and probably all the elite training helped too. But you can see, like, even here, as early as this point in his life, his eyes are just blank. They're empty. Like, he's just doing it because he knows what to do and how to do it, and because he's physically made to do it. But in reality, it's not real. It's not even close to reality. However, with that being the case, let's see. I thought my parents loved me. Oh, we getting dark. Oh, we getting tragic. New Patty, I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Let's see. I thought my parents loved me. Uh-oh. So you slump. He hears arguing. Oh, no. Oh, I think I heard about this. And I'm telling you, his numbers aren't high enough. It's your job to take care of Yo's diet. Get your junk together, man. Oh, so everything's my fault? Maybe your training methods are the problem. What? At this rate, he's not going to turn pro. How are you going to take responsibility? Excuse me, why did I even marry you in the first place, you idiot? That's my line. Don't you realize if Yo turns out to be some average athlete, all our work will be for nothing? You don't have to remind me, idiot. We entrusted Yo to fulfill our... that's rough. That's not hot. That's not hot. Let me think. Do I know anybody? I don't know anybody personally. Luckily enough, it seems like the people I know and commonly interact with were not put down this path. But I've heard the stories. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes you really are just the best of the best because your parents set you down that path and you didn't mind it. Or maybe you did, but no matter what, you performed so well that you just didn't care. or no, like, it just isn't evident on whether or not you liked it. That doesn't matter. The results are so good, you can just ignore it. But from what I've heard of stories of people who've lived this life, people who were really just like a vessel for their parents' dreams, not their own individual person, their lives, or at least even if their lives turned out good, even if they were like successful in the field they were put down, they aren't usually happy. Because they didn't get to be themselves. They got to be the vessel for their parents' dreams. And that's not you. Sure, you are always an amalgamation of your parents. Like, one way or another. I can even say it myself. I am literally, like, you can go ask that mom with a pencil and that dad with a pencil. I am literally a concrete fusion of both of them. Aspects of my mom's personality, aspects of my dad's personality, and both of their physicals just merged into me. Like, I'm literally half them. Personified, put in. But even still, I my own individual person. I have very different interests than them. I grew up in a very different world, a very different time period. I have very different ideologies than both of them. Though we do have overlapping ideologies because of how I was raised by them and how I made my own choices based on what they told me. And Leslie, I'm still my own unique person. You would never catch that dad with a pencil doing YouTube, but here I am. And it goes to show you, if you have healthy support, like I was lucky enough to, I was born lucky enough to have parents that would support me in my endeavors, I'm fine. I'm happy with what I do. Meanwhile, you have people like Hiyori who go through only being the vessels for their parents' dreams. And when these parents place these heavy expectations, this weight on their child, especially at a young age like this, Hiyori looks no older than like maybe 8 here at most, maybe pushing 9. And I don't know, I just don't know how big certain kids are. I don't know off the top of my dome. But even still, he's not even a teenager yet. He's not even to the age where he's in Blue Lock yet. He's not even 18 yet now by the time of the modern narrative. And already at ages like this, he's hearing his parents curse at each other over their failing, or not even over their own supposed incompetencies, because their child isn't, they don't believe their child's going to be a superstar. They don't believe their child is going to be a worthy vessel for their dream. And no kid should have to go through that. Because that is at the age when you're most impressionable too, right? When you're young, everything hits twice as hard. You become jaded as you get older. Trust me, I know. But that's the thing. While you're young and going through a situation like this, it's going to scar you for life, for eternity. It's going to make you into a completely different person than the person you could have been. And the thing is, I don't even think Hiyori needed to hear this conversation. It definitely didn't help. But even if he hadn't, I think as he grew up, as he developed, as he got his own interests, as he developed as his own person, even under their control, he would have slowly realized what he really was. A lot of people do. And it's a really rough spot. It's interesting. This is an angle I never thought I would see tackled in Blue Lock for some reason. You'd think it'd be obvious. Like, obviously there's going to try and be people who would make their own sports prodigy through their child. But putting it on a character like Hiyori, at this time, of course, in the Neo-Egotist League, where everything is riding on this, like this is the Neo-Egotist League decides whether or not you get to play in the U20. Presumably it determines if you could sub in too, just like with third selection. This is, and sure, Hiyori did have a moment. He was in the U20. He did play. He was praised to have Itoshi-sei and Rin Itoshi levels of shot speed and curvature and stuff like that. That's not enough. That's not the #1 striker in the world. He wasn't even a striker in that game. That goes to show you, right now, he's living to prove himself for his parents based on what they said. Because now, if they're arguing over this, I can't imagine what they would do if Hiyori isn't the #1. Let's see. If Yo can't become #1 in the world, I want to... That is something. Like, I just... It may be... Blue Lock and JJK may be my two, like, favorite new gen. Like, above Dr. Stone, and I love Dr. Stone. I have issues with the ending that I've been mulling over making a video on for months now. But... like Dr. Stone, Fire Force, MHA, but like in terms of just writing, in terms of that good, Blue Lock just hits big different. It is absolutely bonkers to me that they can write stuff like this, and it comes out so well, so good. In the art just sells it. The art sells it. You'll always hear me praising Nomura in any of these live reactions. I think you can literally go through the entire playlist of live reactions, and at least there's one time where I'm like, this art is bonkers, because it always is. But the portrayal of these two starving beasts, these two monsters who would enforce this kind of pressure on their only child. He doesn't have any siblings. Not yet, at least. I'm not sure if he has one in the modern day, but he doesn't have any siblings. He doesn't have anyone else to share this burden with. He is under their full legal control. He's a child. He's not legally an adult for years from this point. So with that being the case, he's stuck. And what doesn't, well, who knows? I'm not sure what the elite training regimen is. No idea. But he's stuck in an abusive household. That's what this is. It's being written out like this. And it's peak. It's peak. It's good character stuff. Like, this is where I always sound conflicted. It's like, dude, what am I saying? But when you torture your characters like this, when you build in such pain into their backstories and their reasons for being, I love them all the more. Hiyori shot up. Just on this alone and knowing that he's going through all this, it recontextualizes everything about what Hiyori said. Now I bet he uses video games as an escape to get away from this, to lock himself in another world. He has a whole setup. He has his headphones in, all that, because he wants to escape this agony, this pressure put on him, something he didn't want. He didn't ask to be born to these people. He didn't ask to be born at all. But now he's being pushed on here with expectations. And now he's the only thing that's going to be able to hold his parents together. And presumably, a deep part of him probably still loves his parents, because they're his parents. He wouldn't exist without them. But at the same time, he has to deal with the fact that they're these monsters. Presumably, this is how Hiyori sees them. Sure, they may look like regular people here, but in reality, to him, in his consciousness, they're monsters. Starving beasts willing to do anything and force anything upon their only child. Blue Lock is peak. I literally want to draw this thing right now just because of how peak this is. Golly. And he even knows what a divorce is. He's probably heard that. Oh, my Lord. Oh, Brody falls? Oh, falling down the stairs. Oh, falling down the stairs backwards, too? I fell down the stairs once, and that was probably the most painful experience of my life. Because to be fair, I slipped right on the second step going down. I just, I'm lucky I didn't take the railing out the wall. That was heavy. So still am. So I'm lucky that I didn't take the railing out the wall. But darn, it was a weird kind of experience. So falling backwards, my dome in unbelievable pain. Oh, so what? Now you care. Now you're a concern. Let's see. Yo, Chan? Yo? At least he didn't keep falling. He only got a cut on his foot. How do you get a cut on the top of his foot? Wait. I generally don't know how Brody even did that. I don't know how he managed that. But he got a cut on the top of his foot by falling backwards. I mean, he may have rolled. Never mind, he may have just rolled. Yo, Chen? Yo? Oh, no. Are you getting a divorce? Is it my fault that mom and dad are getting a divorce? Think about that. Bro's no older than 8, and now he has to live forever literally until he becomes the #1 striker in the world, forever, with the pressure that if he fails, if he does not achieve the pinnacle, note how many soccer players there are in Japan alone. Blue Lock started with 300 people. 300. But he's not just competing against the people in Blue Lock. He's competing against people from all across the world. If he does not become the #1 striker, the #1 footballer in the world, his parents break up. That's the condition. Do you know how difficult that is? You know how, literally nigh on impossible that is? Imagine you were given the goal to become the #1 student in the world. If you're still in school, a #1 student in the world. Do you know how many people you're competing with? Millions. Billions. Probably, at this point. Probably billions. At least a billion. At least a billion people is what you're going up against. You need to be #1 out of all of them. Or else, your parents go away. That pressure. And imagine you were 8 when you were told that. Or however old Hiyori is here, I'm not sure. But imagine you were that age. Traumatizing probably barely is the word. That awful. Wow. I am. Once again, Blue Lock it's peak. It's peak pain though. It's literal agony. The way it tortures some of its characters is wild. Sometimes I think I'd be reading JJK or Chainsaw Man whenever I pick up Blue Lock and I get these dark, twisted backstories. And the thing is, it's different. It's very different, right? Because in things like JJK and things like Chainsaw Man Even in things like, I was gonna say Dragon Ball, but not really. But actually, ironically enough, Gohan's childhood was also extremely traumatizing. So even in things like Dragon Ball, the trauma is a lot more physically based, or still it could be mentally based. I'm thinking of Chainsaw Man, but that's the thing. It's much more brutal, much more vile, much more physical. Like, it just looks bad. Meanwhile, this is all mental. It is all just pressure. Heavily stacked mental pressure put on a child for something that they never wanted. Blue Lock Mangaka is just crazy. The writing is just writing right now. It's literal flames. It's just pure flames. It's crazy. They don't even answer his question. They don't even answer his question. Wow. Like, you gotta be some, like, notably, I like the idea of being number one, but I think like some point my brain just like it's okay. We're good. We'll be fine. We will be number one in our own way. Like, I guess you could say I developed an ego of some sort. But like, I don't know. I had good, healthy competition when I was in really all walks of life. Back when I was an athlete, back when I was in school, even now, I have good, healthy competition, and I enjoy it. I was fine with people being better than me. It always drove me to do better. I feel like being number one in some ways is a little bit isolating because you're always looking down and you're always afraid of someone becoming number one instead of you. Like, that feeling of someone chasing you has got to be, like, it's a bit, at least to me, it's more mentally comforting that I know there are people behind me, but I know there are also people in front of me. That means there's a path I can walk. There are ways that I can go. I can get up there. Because it does exist. Meanwhile, at number one, you're kind of just chasing nothing. You're just running away from those behind you. You're in a constant race against that. And with that being the case, it's still, it's bonkers. Like, the fact that that desire can consume you to a point where your own child asks you whether or not they are the reason that your 8-year-old asks you, or whether or not they're the reason that you may break up. And the thing you care about more than anything else is the fact that he has a cut on his foot because he heard that you guys were breaking up. And he asked you a question and you just completely ignore it. Like, once again, I don't know. I know some people desperately consumed by the desire to be number one, but if you were walking down the path that I may have once walked, to do that, I got the story time or something, like the time when I was almost consumed by the desire to be the best. Like, be careful. It's a dangerous road to walk down, and you can hurt a lot of people gunning only for yourself. And Vlog is teaching that here too. Let's see. Oh, are you okay? No, wait, is it broken? Is it just a sprain? This is your precious leg. Answer me, yo. Just in case, let's call an ambulance. I can't believe this is happening. And you can even see, once again, he's 8. He's 8 here. Or, once again, I keep saying 8, but he's a child here. A real, like, proper child. Not even a teenager yet. And he's understanding that, I see. My parents aren't even looking at me. They don't see him. They don't see a person. They see a vessel. That is crazy. They don't care about me. All they care about is my talent. Wow. That's and once again, just on a sheer writing perspective in Blue Lock, something I never thought would have happened. This is definitively broken my ankles in terms of what I thought would happen writing-wise in Blue Lock for a character and their backstory. Especially for a character like from this ilk. Like, Kiori, once again, was only introduced around 100 chapters ago. But we're getting stuff like this. It is bonkers. It's bonkers how good it is. Like, that's the thing. Like, this is very easy to mess up, but it's portrayed so well through the art and the writing that it's just peak. It's just peak. Like, look at the tears in his eyes as he realizes his fate. He's going to have to dance and, like, what is that story? There's a folk tale about someone who had to keep dancing for eternity for an audience that would never stop watching them, or else their life would be over. I think it was metaphoric. I don't think they would actually have perished, but I think their life would have just ended if they ever stopped dancing. And the moral of that story is you never want to get in those situations. But this is a situation that Hiyori could have never avoided. He was born into it. He's stuck like this. The only thing he could hypothetically do is give up on that. But even then, he loses his parents, and I doubt they'd support him in anything because they are so focused that they don't even see him. So he's really just stuck until he is a full adult who can go live his own life and never see these people again. He's stuck for over a decade at bare minimum. That is crazy. But despite all that, I continued to play football, even though my parents didn't love me. Dog. I'm so happy I started reading. Like, I still remember. I forget what even caused me to read it. I think I had heard about the anime coming out. I think that was it. That's usually what gets me to be like, and a lot of people were praising the manga. And I think it may have been because I remember I specifically started reading Hero Executor on Webtoon, specifically because I saw one edit of it. I was like, this looks cool. Let me go read it. And I consumed it in a day. I think a similar thing happened with Blue Lock, where I saw an edit of the U20 game. I think I saw some panels of Shido and Rin, and I was like, I gotta read this. But that's the thing. It's not just good for the hype moments. It's good for its all-around writing. Its all-around story quality is so high. It's amazing. I love it. Key to play football. As long as I keep playing football, my family will stay together. Then one day, I'll become the world's #1 striker. Wow. Playing to avoid the inevitable. To chase a dream that is nigh on impossible. Like, notably, once again, maybe I just don't have the mentality. I do not have the ego. But I wonder, like, did Usain Bolt, what was he thinking when he became the fastest man alive? Or before that, when he was chasing whoever the previous fastest man alive was? That goal had to seem impossible. At the time, at least. He did it. He blew it away. Now, every other sprinter, like Noah Lyles, Knightley, like people who are chasing that, how do you feel? I don't know, because I wanted to be the fastest. There was even a goal I very specifically wanted to beat, but I didn't, but I was okay with that. I managed to move on. But for people like Hiyori, who are stuck in this situation where moving on means the end, I can't imagine what kind of mental toll that has on people. I wonder what my true purpose in life is. And the thing is, people sort of automatically wonder what their purpose is. Why are we here? Why was I born? It's just a natural thing of humans. You can say it's a blessing and a curse. I think it is. Like, it's great to be sentient. Because I don't like the idea of not being sentient anymore. But the need to question oneself and why you exist is infinitely more concerning than anything a plant will have to deal with. A plant doesn't think about why it has to exist. It just does. A fly doesn't think about why it has to exist. It just does. Water can't think at all. It doesn't even have a brain. It just is. Meanwhile, humans are naturally wired to wonder about their purpose and their reason for existence. And when put in a situation like this, where your existence has been predetermined for you, you can't even really ask that question because it's been foisted upon you. It's even worse. But hey, I decided to live my life according to that character description. A boy born to be the #1 striker. Look how dead his eyes are. Sitting in the dark with shadows all around him, leaned up on a pillow with dead eyes. As he just slaughters. It became easier living like that. Darn. This is just so beautifully dark. Whoa. Why'd we shift? Here are you. You're remarkable. Oh, thanks. Name's Karasu. I'm a year older, but I also play for the Osaka Bambi team. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You're a genius, Hiyori. Oh, that is true, because they did know each other. I do remember that was mentioned early on. Let's see. Whoa, let's see if I can. I cannot fight it. Born with impressive physical ability and superb ball control. Not to mention, your left leg is... I'm not reading that. But in the final third, your passion for the goal is just average. It's as if your mind and body are in sync. You don't truly love football, do you? And once again, you see, always being associated with a crow is Karasu. Very interesting. I'm interested to see Karasu's role on PXG because he's on that team. So I think we're definitely gonna have to get that matchup. I think this match, in a very similar vein to Yuki Maya was in Manshine, is going to be Hiyori like awakening, and then it'll be an awakened Hiyori up against a leveled up Karasu, and we'll see how that goes out. I'm intrigued. Though it is crazy that Hiyori is just read like a book here. Like, just flat out thinking a Karasu, a guy who probably just met him today, can tell that just by how he plays. And it's got to be crazy to think about, because, you know, Hiyori thought it was hidden well enough. So much that his parents would never notice, but a stranger did. Crazy. You're amazing, Karasu. I guess it really is obvious for some people. Well, I'm an endless nut to begin with, but in your current state, you don't stand a chance against me. Karasuka, do you like having huge expectations forced on you? All my life, my parents forced their expectations on me. That's probably why I don't truly love football. What I say, it's true. Boring. All that nonsense about people's expectations and thinking about what people care about, all that is just booty water. Start with yourself. Believe in yourself. Find something that truly gets your blood pumping. If you don't start there, you'll be running in circles, you idiot. Look at that, some light back in his eyes. Now he's really reconsidering. But I still don't think he can. That's the thing. It's nice to have something like that, but I don't think he can. Believe in yourself. In what? Besides, I don't even want to play football. If my parents weren't around, what would I really do with my life? See, that's the thing. He couldn't even ask those questions. He couldn't even get an interest outside of football, outside of video games, because that's all he was afforded. I don't get it. Mr. Hiorio, you've been selected for a special player training program now. This is what we desired, Yo-chan. What a huge opportunity. All right, it's your chance to make the national team. Good things will come to those who believe in themselves. Just stop. Disgusting. Up, the dead eyes again. Yeah, but once again, you gotta think, he just couldn't care less. He does not like football, so it doesn't matter to him. Wow. I don't even blame him, though. Look at that. His father had the nerve to get fat. But, wow. He's just so... I mean, yeah. Essentially, they are his enemies. They are not people who love him. They are those who force their expectations upon him. So, of course, just like anyone who gets in your way in a video game, you would break them down in order to win. Make sense? Good luck, you. Don't you dare lose to those other kids, especially in spirit. We're rooting for you. Sure. Finally, I can get out of here. For me, Blue Lock is a place to escape. I'll be going now. I never want to live in that house again. So you know it was painful for him to go back, even just for that 2-week break period. He probably was so unhappy having to return to that place. Even if it had his whole setup, the real place of escape wasn't his room, because his parents could always just show up. It was Blue Lock. Wow. Hey, Hiyori, help me practice for a bit. Oh, sure. Despite his... And look at that. Right in comparison to this previous panel where his eyes are darkened, he has light back, if only a little bit. Despite his troubled past, he keeps moving forward. Even though his reasons are different than the others, his will to fight burns bright. Oh, I can almost reach the ceiling while sitting down. I think I can. Can I do it? I can. We got long arms. But regardless. Yeah, this may be in my top 5 chapters of Blue Lock. And it's definitely like... And I know this may be premature. I'll have to reread the other backstories and think about it more. But this may be my favorite backstory too. For Hiyori, a character like, once again, never would have thought writing of this quality, writing of this tier would come out of Hiyori, but it has. It's that good. It's that peak. It's an interesting new angle on this whole football thing, becoming the #1 striker, an inorganic dream, all that. So good. So good. Yes, the chapter's a 10 out of 10. It's a 12 out of 10. I like it that much. This is such a good chapter. This literally blows every chapter. Not every chapter, but it blows a lot of chapters out of the water. Wow. Speak. That's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure the little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below. You support result as $1 a month. Links to the videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.